This is Flying Herb with the X400 by Holystone. It's a quadcopter with an FPV function, and I'll go through the whole thing here in a minute. First thing we're going to do is bind it. The nice thing about this copter is it has a off and on switch, so we simply turn it on. I've already got the battery charged, what you have to do, remember that. Then you make sure that the copter is facing forward. You put the transmitter directly behind it, turn it on, and up and down, and we're bound. Okay, now that we're bound, there's a couple things you have to do with this transmitter right off the bat. If you see that on the left and right, there are these little slides. If you want to go mode 1, which nobody does here in the United States, you would push this all the way up. We keep it all the way down so you have your throttle on the left, which is mode 2. After you do that, you also have to make sure that you have this little button right here, the aileron and rudder. That's going to switch it from this side to this side. This is a little tricky, so the only way to really do it is to just test it. And how you test it, you have it all bound, you give it a little bit of gas, just a little bit, and then you see, I pulled it to the right and it went to the right, so that's right. Had I not done that and had it been, I'll show you what it looks like the other way, then you give it gas. See, that's the yaw. So you switch the yaw or the rudder for the aileron by doing this. So make sure you have it all set before you take off. Mode 1, this down, mode 2, excuse me, this down, and make sure the aileron and rudder is set. Hey, then we're ready to fly. Now we're going to go ahead and set up the FPV. You will notice in your box you have two strange looking devices. What do we do with this? Well, this here is the holder for the cell phone. And this goes in here like this. Let me demonstrate. And then we get a cell phone, my cell phone, and we put it in like that. And then this goes on this, and we have a very nice little display. I think this is a very cool feature, and it works really well, as I will show you. All right, let's set up the FPV. First thing, go to the manual, and you will find the link. They'll give you the actual URL to go to download the program. Once you download the program, I'm assuming that you already have it downloaded, you'll go to your wireless connection once the copter is on. And if you go down in your wireless connection, I don't know if you can see here, but I've got the MJX, and that's what this is called. So I click on MJX and connect. There's no password, don't worry about it. And connecting, and it will connect in a moment. Connected. All right. Now, we're going to go to the MJR program, MJX program. And there it is. We've got it. We've got a live connection on here. And behold, we have a live connection. As I lift up the plane, you will see that you're getting exactly what's on the camera. It works really, really well. Something else that's cool. If you want to record, you simply press the record. Now, everything I'm doing here is being recorded on the camera. Stop record. You can take a still picture. You can get to the file folder. Here's something that's very interesting, this 180 on top. You'll sometimes find out that the image is reversed. It'll be upside down like this. Then simply hit that 180 and it'll make it the other way, because every cell phone is slightly different. Anyway, now you're all ready to take this thing off and watch where you're flying through FPV. Now, to get to the video that you just took, we click on the file, and it'll show us this. And on here we see, I don't know if you can see it, it says 5. Click on that, And there's all the videos. This is the one we just took just now. Let's go over the transformer. The first on the left is the throttle. And then if you go left or right while it's in the air, the plane will turn on its axis. That's the yaw or the rudder. On the other side, we have the forward. When you push this stick, the plane goes forward, but very slightly forward, backward, bank to the right, and bank to the left. Oh, bank to the left and don't hit the transformer. All right, on the bottom here we have the trim buttons. You probably know what trim functions are. If the plane is drifting a little one way, you do the opposite function. It's pretty straightforward. On top we have the flip button. This, hit it lightly. The next time you turn something, it's going to flip. I don't even want to do it now. And then, well, we have to do it to get it out of there. Okay. Now, one headless mode, if we want to go into headless mode, we have to hold this down. And you'll get a couple clicks. There we go. And you'll see the plane is blinking, telling you it's in headless mode, which means no matter what, when you go forward, you're going to always go forward no matter what's happening. When you turn to the right, it's going to be turned to the right, whether it's coming at you or away from you. For a beginner, that's easy, but boy, it's going to mess you up down the road. I recommend not doing it. To get out of that, just hold it long, and you get 3 beeps, and it tells you you're out of that mode. Right here is the intermediate, advanced, and beginner modes. It starts off in the beginner mode. If you see, you've got this little circle right here. Then you hit it once, you get a half. Now we're in intermediate, and if that's completely on, you get advanced. The difference is the more advanced it is, the more angle of attack you're allowed, so that you can go really fast and make some really cool maneuvers. In the upper left, this is the one key return button. We press it and hold it, and eventually the plane should come back to you if you bound it correctly. Although, again, I wouldn't hold my breath on that function. One thing I have to caution you, make sure you hold this transmitter so that you're nowhere near this flip button. If you even barely brush against it, the copter will flip and perhaps you won't be ready for it. So keep your hands down here.